We are indeed recording. And hi, everyone. Got a new loot crate. Thought was gonna stop last month. Decided not to because I was interested in this one. This is probably the most interesting one that I was interested in. Um, as you can see, this box is flippin' huge. I was not expecting it to be this big, but don't be fooled by that. Just saying. I know what's in it, but Keo doesn't, and that's all that matters. And most of you guys don't know it. So anyway, what was this theme of this crate, this month's crate was Unite. It's supposed to have Marvel, DC, what was it, like Power Rangers, Rick and Morty, which I'm not sure what they are. I know they're a cartoon.
They go on United Adventures, I suppose.
They're a cartoon that I don't know about. And then there's also Bravest Warriors, which if you've watched anything with Adventure Time, that's same creators. Let's see, what else was there? What was there was another item in here. I can't think of it right now. Oh yeah, TF2. Which that one threw me a little bit to the point of why I wanted it, was the TF2 thing. Because when there's usually TF2 things, you almost expect that there's going to be a code with it that would put into the actual game and you have it there. It won't happen in this case. I've seen what it is, and it doesn't have a code, and it pisses me off. But that's not the point. Anyway, let's start revealing some of the items. And we'll start with the t-shirt, because it was the only Power Rangers one, and they had revealed that it was going to be Power Rangers. So, I'll get it out. And I'll bring it out as soon as I can get it. It's gray. And that's what it looks like. It's not
White
bad.
And Green Ranger.
Yeah, I actually like it. It's a Dragon Dagger and then Saba, the short sword. And then it's got the Japanese lettering and everything. It's really cool. So, this is probably the best item, I think, in the crate. Because after seeing what's in it, I'm a little disappointed with this crate. But this is probably the only one that I've been was also looking forward to besides TF2. Especially with old school Power Rangers. That's probably where I grew up with. I didn't like anything after, I think, the Thunder Zords and the White Ranger stuff. Alright, so that one was the t-shirt. Now we get into the not so great stuff. So we'll go with Rick and Morty. Without knowing what this is, Keel, what would you think this is?
It's a box shaped like a cube. I'd say it's probably some kind of figure inside. I'm guessing that's wrong.
It is wrong. It is a Rick and Morty item, and it's a puzzle. A 300-piece puzzle. Yeah. That's when I looked at it. When I looked at it in the box, I was like, oh, it's got to be a figure. It's Rick and Morty. And I look, it says puzzle, and I'm going, I feel gypped. I'm not so pissed off.
That's annoying.
Well, to be honest, at least it's Rick and Morty, because I have no interest in Rick and Morty. I never even watched it or read any comic about it, if that's what it is. I have no knowledge of what Rick and Morty is. So, when I looked at this, I was like the most least interested item I had for it, and yet they made it a puzzle, which is probably the most interesting thing about puzzles, is to make them. When I looked at the box, I thought if it was a puzzle, I was like, is it a 3D puzzle? And I'm like, no, it's just a 2D 11 by 14 inch puzzle. I don't want to open it. This is one of the downfalls of this box.
So the box looks to be about as tall as that box, so...
Yeah. They put 3 Marvel things in here, by the way.
Cool.
There is no DC. I thought DC would be in it because that's what they were advertising with Unite. But it's not. I know one of them was from the movie, and then the other 2 are just Marvel things. So we'll start with the movie one. Not so bad. You won't see it because it's fucking bright white, but it's a decal. It's meant for automobiles, and it's the Avengers set logo. So it's not bad, but it's a decal.
Does it actually say Age of Ultron on it, or does it just say
Yeah,
Avengers?
yeah, it does. It says Avengers: Age of Ultron.
I think I'd rather have a more generic decal. I probably could cut that off, but
Yeah, that's all it looks like. It has the whole Age of Ultron. Now, this is by far the weakest of all the Marvel items. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's used for a car or a window. That's it. You're not using it for anything else. So that's what a decal does. Then we get to one of the more awesome, actually, is when I first seen this looked like a lanyard. When I first looked at it.
is it shoelaces?
Yes, it is. It's Marvel designed shoelaces. And it's a
Neat.
pair of them. This is probably one of the better ones. It's much better than the decal. But it looks like old school art because of the way the top is all designed with. And the way I'm looking at it, it looks like it's from like 1960s, 1970s art design. It could be later. I don't know how far comics went through, but it's the comic design. And then the other Marvel item, which is the second biggest item in this, an ice tray.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, it looks like there's only 4 things on here. You have the Thing's face, which takes 2 of them up here. You have, I'm assuming, the Hulk's fist, because it looks like a fist. You have Iron Man's head, and you have Captain America's shield.
You know, I'd use it.
Oh, I would too. This is literally one of the best items in this crate.
I like that.
So yeah,
It has a use. I like it when they give you something with functionality.
Yeah, and well, this one also. This is nice to have.
But I also hate restringing shoes, so.
Yeah, that's the problem with restringing shoes, and I can't do it with my shoes. Which, why would I want to do that with this? I probably would just hang this up. Let's see what else was there. Let's get to the pin because it's right here. It looks like Iron Man's hand is shaking hands with another kind of robot hand. That's all it is. It's just a handshake. It's really hard to see, obviously, because it's so small, but it looks like a handshake between Iron Man and someone with a darker color of like Iron Man's hand. I'm not sure what it is, though. It's the only one I can't figure out what the other one is. But that's not the only pin we got. And when I say TF2, I mean TF2 gave us pins.
That's terrible. I kind of went the figure.
Yeah, I was hoping for a figure or, hell, just something like a hat reference or something like that. They gave us the typical red and blue team pins, and then they give us the sandwich pin and the balloonicorn.
I'd rather just go make myself a sandwich instead of the pins.
This is the most disappointing item of this crate to me, because this is the one I looked forward to the most. When I seen this broke my heart.
For you basically bought another 3 months for that item.
Yeah. Well, it's not that I was interested in the Marvel stuff and Power Rangers, but this crate, the one I was looking for, the most item crate in this was TF2, because TF2 Valve is really good with their content and everything. I was disappointed that it was pins. That was my disappointment. It almost makes me hate Loot Crate for doing that. This I have no fucks to give about. Why is it a puzzle? I mean, yeah, it killed me a couple hours to make it, but why would I want a puzzle? Why would I want shoelaces when I don't plan to use them? It'd be nice, they're still practical. But again, I felt really burned when I got that. we'll get to the one they did reveal, the comic book. This was revealed, about a week ago? I want to say.
Probably.
It was straight up revealed the Bravest Warriors was the comic book with what it was going to look like. It don't look bad. It looks actually kind of perfect for Bravest Warriors if you ever seen the show.
Which company made it?
The comic itself?
Yeah.
Boom Studios.
Boom.
That's what it says. It doesn't say anything else.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they handle a lot of licensed ones, if I remember right.
yeah, and this is number 1, Bravest Warriors, which is nice. It's the first issue, and they are just releasing this, but this is the one that has the variant cover. This one, the cover looks perfect for what the show is about, and the loot crates kind of make sense for the show, considering the show has Catbug.
It's just a sci-fi version of
Adventure Time, or what?
yeah,
Yeah,
more or
Adventure.
less.
It's made by the same guys, Cartoon Hangover. So
Yeah,
I prefer Bravest Warriors over Adventure Time. I think it's
I like that.
I think it's more meant for like the teenagers to adult audiences, whereas Adventure Time feels like it's meant for kids.
Yeah, I just looked up Boom. They have a bunch of Adventure Time comics as well.
Yeah. So as much as they revealed it, which kind of upsets me that they did, I'm not too bothered considering what I got. And then
They have a Big Trouble in Little China series.
Obviously we have the Unite thing poster on the back. Okay, the pen. This kind of goes to the back of this. They show a bunch of handshakes from different variant ones. Like one of them shows the Bravest Warrior's hand shaking another hand.
Is it one of the ones the same as the pin?
Yeah. One of them is same as the pin.
Point it out to me. Maybe I can actually identify it on there.
Right there, that one. They have 2 of it for some reason. You can probably recognize some of the other ones too.
Yeah, it's
a bunch of superheroes and/or whoever's on the front of this.
if I could figure that out, but I guess not.
Yeah,
It's just red.
it looks like the Hulk is shaking the hand of a Power Ranger or Superman. And when I seen like Superman be in front, I expected like a DC thing, and there's no DC item. That's the weirdest thing. It's because we have 3 Marvel things, no DC. But now we get
But they
to
know what's big and popular, you know.
yeah. Well, especially right now. Now we get to the most unexpected, not even advertised item of the crate. They gave us a magazine.
Is that Mad?
Yeah, a special Loot Crate edition of Mad magazine. Now, maybe you can tell. It looks like a Game of Thrones character.
It looks a bit like Count Drogo.
I don't know, but that's what it looks like. Now, it does have a special offer on the back. Special offer for Loot Crate subscribers only. Get a free issue of Mad on your iPad, if you have an iPad. So go on your iPad, go to the App Store, find Mad Magazine Cheap app. Download and install the Mad Magazine Cheap app. Open the app, and in my library section, you will find Mad Magazine issue number 532 available for free. Download and the free issue and enjoy. So if you're a fan of Mad, there you go. This was the unexpected item. I kind of like the front saying, "Unite the stupid." I'm not a big fan of Mad. It's really not something I care. I remember Mad TV being a thing for a while.
I have a bunch of old, like, 1980, maybe even 1970 Mad magazines.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. I've only ever read one of the newer ones, and it was just terrible. It's something that should have died with the 80s.
Yeah, I agree. Now it's a thing still. I'm amazed by that. But, you know, Mad Magazine's never been a bad magazine. The fact that they gave it for free, not bad.
Yeah. It could be trying to rebuild their audience, though.
Well, they're also promoting their iPad app and everything. Now, I don't mind the inside of the cover of this box. It looks to me like a game of some sort.
A game.
Because it says, pull here to start the it says visit Loot Crate, and they spelled visit wrong, by the way. They missed an I. V-I-S-T. Anyway, visit lootcrate.com/unitebox for assembly instructions. So it seems like you have to assemble this thing. I'm not going to do that because I use it to kind of hold all the items in. It has the Konami code back in. The first time in a while since I noticed it.
And,
It looks like a locker room.
yeah.
You can see the
Captain America.
cat bugs up
Shield.
here. You have White Ranger mask. Over there is Rick and Morty. Let's see what else we got. Looks like we got the Demo Man thing right over there. Spy stuff, soldiers, pyro. Oh no, it's basically looks like a locker room styled in the TF2 locker room design, but mashed up with all the other characters they put in. They took a giant step back on this crate. Honestly, this stuff ain't bad. I mean, the comics are never bad. It's the problem with the comics is that it feels like filler.
I'd say I'm about to say just what my two things in this that are worth it is the ice tray and that comic.
Yeah, and well, no, I would say the shirt too.
Yeah, the shirt, of course, the shirt. But
Honestly,
those
yeah,
three things, everything else just kind of filler for those things.
yeah, and
I mean, the puzzle is probably, a bit valuable in some. You know what I mean?
I would think the puzzle's probably about $10.
Has a pretty big following.
I'm sure it does. I'm just saying it's probably worth about $10. This, I know it's made by Valve. The thing is that they're Loot Crate exclusive for the TF2 thing, but it doesn't feel exclusive because it feels like I've seen this before.
I feel like I have as well.
You know, and that's what I mean. Honestly, if it was just the pins, they're not bad for flair. You know, and I don't know if that's what it's trying to reference from the actual game. If it was trying to reference the flair item in there. But the problem with it is that it's pins. We complain all the time about the monthly pin we get in the crate as it is. So, the idea of having us Team Fortress 2 pins...
I don't know what to do with pins. I honestly don't.
I know people collect them. I understand people that are collectors of them. They have pins that were the presidents or historical. They're similar to the Pogs back in the day.
They're gonna like Disney pins and all that. They're gonna collect those. These are
basic,
collectible.
Yeah, I mean, if it was pins in the style of how Disney does theirs, and they look really high quality ones. Let me get an example.
If you don't show up on this one location on this certain day, you don't get it.
Yeah, and I have an example of other pins if I can find it. I don't think it's in this one. I think it's actually in the drawer. And yes, I got another hex bug for those who remember a few months ago. I bought it. Let's see. I'm going to put these magazines away. Let me see. What's a good pin? Do I have it in here? Ah, yes. We have a few I can take here. Alright. These are Pokemon pins. These are ones you get out of the card game if you look hard enough. They're about $10 to get like 3 packs plus a special card, and you get a pin. These are designed from the X and Y stuff, specifically. If the Team Fortress 2 pins weren't this design, and more designed to be like this version of Charizard, or this version of Charizard, I would actually be a little bit more excited. You know, this one would make a lot better sense. It would look much better than that. Because these are too generic. They're the same thing we see in every fucking crate. Another example would be this. This is the World Championships of 2014. I have like a few of these because they gave them away. These are higher quality designs.
But TF2, I guess they could have done it for the characters.
All they had to do is give us like one. They didn't have to give us like this. Hell, if it was just a Balloonicorn and it was designed like that,
It won't be too bad.
It wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't have complained so much. This one, I know this isn't probably Valve's fault. It's more on Loot Crate's end because I know where they spent their money. They spent their money pretty much on the magazine from Mad, which probably is probably the most expensive thing they did. The comic,
So I
Bravest
can
Warriors
see Matt giving them that one for free, trying to get these
True, I
people
could
who
see
are
it, but
buying their comics.
yeah. But they spent their money there, and then they went to Marvel, who is just flaming hot right now, especially with the movies coming out.
You just can't go wrong right now with them.
And their money went kind of down when they bought these two items. The shoelaces and the ice cube, they looked at like, well, we need an Age of Ultron because it's relevant. What do we buy? A decal. And given the decal's not bad, I don't mind the design of it, but it's something I could do without.
You know, does it say Luke Cage exclusive on the decal?
No, it doesn't.
I wonder if they just had a bunch of those left over at a factory somewhere, and they're like, we need to get rid of these. The movie's over.
In fact, all three of these Marvel things don't have anywhere on them Loot Crate exclusive.
So that's the stuff I feel like they might get with the thrown away, you know? It's
Yeah.
like, we're throwing this stuff away. Do you want it? I'm thinking they get approached like that quite a bit at Loot Crate.
Well, they just throw it in. Like, none of the
Like, the
Marvel items are
decal's
Loot Crate
probably gonna be-
exclusives. The Rick and Morty thing isn't either. I don't see it anywhere on the box.
So I feel like that has to be an actual item they paid for or something, you know? I don't think they got a crate of those free
The
to
only
give away.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Overall, this was a disappointing crate. The shirt is always useful. You're always going to need a shirt. But like the only items that have any practical sense of use might be the ice tray because you can use it, and hell, you can do it any fucking time of the year. You want ice for your water? Here you go. Do you want it stylized to look like Captain America's shield? There's a Captain America shield design.
Loot Crate, you need to get your quality up. Just a
Well,
tad.
here's the thing. Like, April's and March's crate were the best ones in a while. And it was back-to-back straight. They weren't the greatest, but back-to-back they were like 8-9s from us. This one obviously dropped down. This one dropped to, I want to say 7, at least, as a max.
7-6, somewhere there, yeah.
Because it has some very cool items. And I'm going off this based on the December crate, because that was still our worst. And that was a 5. So the one item that disappointed me the most was TF2. Everything else didn't quite disappoint me as much outside of this, the decal. So it wasn't all disappointing. I could do without the puzzle, but that's because I don't care about Rick and Morty. I never watched an episode because considering it says Adult Swim on the damn thing, I'm assuming it's a cartoon show. I don't really care about Bravest Warriors all that much. The only reason I know about it was because of 3DS. They promoted that show like crazy on there. The Mad TV was a decent surprise because no one expects that. That's pretty much it. Overall, I'll give this a 6 to 7. That's where it's about right.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's better than the December crate from us, but really, the TF2 kind of took me down, and that's what hurts it. It's the item I looked forward to, and it's the item that got shafted, I feel. As far as Avengers, there's fucking 3 Marvel things. It's not shafted. It's far from that. In fact, the decal is like a nice bonus compared to the other 2 items. And you can tell where they spent their money on. So, yeah, I can't wait till I hear what the next one is. I imagine since we got into the movies, this one feels like the TV show movie stuff. They kind of didn't go too much in the games. And they haven't done that in the last few months, so I'm expecting a video game one.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised they didn't have any Mad Max or something in there, you know?
I'm not so much because it wouldn't fit with the theme so much.
Mad Max united with some people and they did stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised that they did go that way. I think they were skeptical even on the movie. A lot of people were.
Well, I hope the movie's good, and I
Well,
probably need to go see it.
Well, I've heard it too, but when it first was kind of out, people were very skeptical about it because it didn't have Mel Gibson in it. And it didn't. It feels like it's a movie that came 20 years after the last one did, at least.
Something like that, I guess.
So it's one of those things where people are skeptical, and especially in today's age when we have a lot of reboots of franchises and stuff like that, and they suck compared to the original. So it's a very skeptical thing. I'm more surprised that they didn't try with the Marvel thing, put like Ant-Man in this bitch.
And I think the issue with Ant-Man, though, I think isn't he going to be? He isn't going to be with anyone else, right? It's just him.
Well, they have his origin.
Yeah, it's the Ant-Man origin story, which means there probably won't be any other heroes in it to team up with.
For that time, he's planning to be in the Captain America movie, the next one.
Yeah, that's probably why they're having the Ant-Man movie now, though.
Yeah, and the other thing is they're also going to put Black Panther in that film, which confuses me because he doesn't have his origin out yet.
Yeah, because he's getting his own origin movie, but
that's not till 2018. I looked up on IMDb about that. It was like, so when is Black Panther coming out? 2018. When does Civil War come out, the first part? 2017. What? Who's in the? Why is Black Panther in it? Unless they're planning to do a prequel way of doing it.
well, I suppose they could. I mean, you can introduce him there and then kind of make his origin story a prequel, but I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter. Because I think it'll work out, because overall, as long as they don't bring up his origins in Civil War,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones. And the same thing goes is when they bring in Doctor Strange. I don't know how they're going to do that.
But Doctor Strange doesn't have a good connection to anyone, so he can just start a standalone Doctor Strange movie in the universe.
True.
Because he deals with, like, that extra-planar existence stuff, you know? The stuff you'd never see with the current roster of heroes we have.
True. But
He
anyway,
brings an extra dimension to the game.
yeah, but anyway, I'm figuring, like, going back to the crate here.
Yeah.
We've already said that's 6 to 7. I would say 6.5 just to play it safe there. Next crate, they have not revealed the next crate, what the theme is or anything about it. I'm going to look at that and kind of judge it based on what will be around in June. And E3 is coming in June. That's why I feel it's going to be a game thing. Because this one feels like it was comic book oriented. It feels more TV show to movie oriented.
I think I know why they didn't have Ant-Man in this one. Because Ant-Man comes out in July.
Probably is right.
They have Ant-Man in the July crate.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, there's been a while because we kept getting, like, we got the fantasy one, which was dealing with Game of Thrones and movies that dealt with fantasy. And then you had The Covert, which was all the spy stuff. So we've been going to TV shows and movies in the last almost 3 months straight. So I'm almost expecting next month to be a gaming thing. And then, like, the month after that, either be gaming and or comic again.
Well, I'd say anything Marvel will count as comic overall.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not excluding that idea. I'm just saying July seems more likely that they're going to go probably that route to game to comic oriented because they've been on the TV show kick for a while here.
Because the only thing I can think of as a major release in July is Ant-Man, and I don't know the game release schedule for July, so
Oh no, I'm looking at June for freaking E3 because of E3. That's where I'm seeing.
yeah, it has to be a major. That has to be the big game one. You know, they're gonna have to,
And
try and dip into every company they can. You know, you need to get your Capcom, maybe some Nintendo,
yeah, I would
some
think that
Naughty
that's what they're
Dog,
gonna go with.
Insomniac.
Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. They're just gonna go to like gaming material stuff. It probably won't be related to E3, but that's gonna be the talk. So when we get to July, July is a real tough time to figure out what they would plan. It's just there's really nothing coming out in July that's game related. But there's also nothing big coming out outside of Ant-Man in the movies. There's no new TV shows that are going to be relevant during the summer usually because summer is that kind of like that thing there.
Hey, Royal Pains comes out in the summer, and so does Defiance.
Are they really going to be in a loot crate? Defiance might have a shot.
Maybe, but I doubt Royal Pains.
Exactly. I mean, outside of those, I mean, you got to look at what the theme of the crate might be. So, overall, yeah. This is the one where it's going to be very interesting where they go. March was the same thing, and we got a hell of a crate out of March. So, it could go very well that same route. But anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the reveal of the crate and what was in it. If you did get this month's and you've seen the box prior to seeing this video and you didn't open it yet and you just wanted to see what other people were saying about it before you opened it, don't expect the size to fool you.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
I'm going to say to that person, you're doing it wrong, open the damn box.
yeah, but I mean, let's say you're still waiting on the box to come to the mail, whatever. And you're just kind of looking around.
If you're one of those people who don't get it to like the end of the month, that happens to all those out of the United States people, you know?
Well, it's not just that. It also happens to people that paid late. Because this is more like first come, first served. They send it based on how many people have bought it. So a lot of people get it early if they bought it like the start of the month. Like mine is always like the very end of the month is when I started my subscription, which is on the 30th of every month.
Yeah,
it comes that way. So mine comes around an early shot.
You prepay for the entire time, so they just say, get him his crate, he's already paid.
Yeah. So when you look at that, it's based on that. So there are some of my friends that say, well, I got it on the 5th of this month. I was like, well, yeah, but yours is going to be later than mine. Mine I'm going to get right away. Dread, I think, gets his earlier than me because he paid his almost like a few days earlier than mine was paid. So that's how it works for all of us. But, yeah, don't be fooled in the size of the box. The size may look big. It's not very good inside.
Because that puzzle's too tall.
Yeah, it actually is the size of the box itself. And the width is mainly for the ice cube tray thing. But yeah, don't be fooled and think that this is going to be a great box. It's not very heavy. In fact, I think the previous box was heavier than this. T-shirt is
that big that figure,
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go with the figure this round.
Like, a figure would have really been better. Either the Rick and Morty, or instead of a puzzle, Rick and Morty figure, or maybe,
TF2 could have benefited this for having a figure. If they did the blind box and just said put a random one in instead of having to save it for the freaking Mega Crate.
Maybe that's if they didn't. Maybe they didn't go exclusive.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a Loot Crate exclusive, they may have got something a bit better.
See, that would have been simple too. Because if they went to a Loot Crate exclusive of one of those blind bag figures like they did to Firefly back in September, I would have been happy
yeah.
for TF2 if they did that route, because then all they have to do is either put in the freaking announce lady. You can put Saxton Hale. Who else?
Miss Polly.
Yeah, you could put all the characters that you wouldn't see in the damn thing.
Like, this is the stuff from like the trailers and the cartoons they make.
Yeah. So, yeah, this one, TF2 got shafted, is what I feel. Rick and Morty, if it's a good show, I don't know. I'm amazed that they made it a puzzle, though. That was kind of a disappointment to that. Marvel was the best stuff in this damn thing, including the freaking T-shirt from, well, Power Rangers. So, you can tell where it went. And then, I know they advertised DC, and I don't know why it's not in here.
Maybe
the
they
Mega
only
Crate.
they didn't really advertise DC. They just had it in the logo.
But they also had it in the Mega Crate. Batman was in it.
Oh, that's probably if they had it in the Mega Crate. That's probably where the DC came from. Then
Yeah,
they don't.
It still bothers me
Actually,
because
what was-
we're getting into like
Actually-
June where Batman is going to get hot because Arkham Knight's coming out the 23rd of June.
You know, that's what's going to be in the crate. Something Batman.
For next one, I
That's
want
probably
to expect that.
I expect they probably didn't want DC in this one if they're going to go heavy DC the next one.
Yeah, and all they have to do is if they're really smart about it, and usually people get this anywhere between the 20th and the 25th of the month. Right at that point, you just send in like, okay, we have a code for a skin, Loot Crate exclusive skin for Arkham Knight. It could be for Harley Quinn. It could be for Batman. It could be for, I think, Catwoman or something like that. 'Cause I think she's also playable. I'm not sure. I know that Batwoman's going to be playable. You know, that's not a bad choice.
Anyway.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all speculation. Stay tuned next month for the next Loot Crate. Hopefully we'll find out what it is and see if it's worth a damn. Considering this, I'm hoping it's going to go up from here. Usually in the summer it does go up. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed these videos, I'll keep doing more. Give us feedback. Because if I'm doing something wrong, I want to know. And when you don't give me feedback, I'm not knowing. I need to know if I need to improve my channel in some way to make it better for your viewing experience. Anyways, see you later.